And I also done some claps there to make it really loud because that's what the professionals do.
I couldn't hear your clap, so
Yeah.
ow, that's my clap. Did you hear my clap?
I didn't hear your clap, no.
Good cancellation there. Good.
Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators.
Off the case.
Welcome to the most professional podcast you will ever listen to in your life. It's Saturday. It's Boo-Foons Off the Case with me, Dan.
And me, Steve.
And there we go. A little bit of playing with new recording equipment for this episode. And we've realised, ever the professionals that we are with the Boo-Foons, clapping at the wrong time. So when we come to edit with this new audio thing, it's going to be a mess. Yay! Yay! Us.
Well, I just realised for the last 12 weeks I've been speaking into the wrong side of my microphone.
Yes, well, this recording, we did actually start recording nearly an hour ago. And to be fair, the first half an hour has been me watching Steve play with his microphone.
Yep. But I noticed you were fiddling with your equipment as well at the same time, so...
Yeah, well, it was hard not to. I saw you playing with your equipment and I needed to play with my equipment.
You noticed that. You did point that out, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I had to then show you on screen what I was actually touching.
Yeah, which made me play with my equipment even harder.
Oh, you're a perv, you are. Your mum's so proud of you, Dan. Yeah. I can get away with it because mine are dead. I got nothing to be ashamed about now.
Oh. I don't know why that made me laugh so much. I think it was just the unexpected nature of it.
Always expect the unexpected. That's what I say.
Oh, by the way, have you noticed that Instagram... I don't know if you look at our social media at all.
I didn't know. What is this social media thing? You know me, Dan. I'm too old for this kind of stuff. No, but I do look at it. I see your posts. You put so much work into them. I do look at them.
The video, which is me, and there's no context as to which game I'm talking about unless you listen to the Green Children episode. But me talking about the AI football and how bad Adidas Power Soccer was and how easy it was to score a goal by just dribbling on Instagram, that has got 5,039 views.
Well, obviously we need to change it to a football gaming podcast to get the views.
19 likes. It's our most liked post on Instagram. And it's just me out of context talking about a football video game on the PlayStation, which you don't get any of that context unless you actually listen to the episode. But loads of people have done it.
Don't get it.
And that,
don't get it. I don't know how social media works, and it just every time it just amazes me.
On TikTok, it's got 4 likes and 1,161 views.
We're obviously doing the wrong type of podcast here.
Oh, talking of which, I know I said, well, we'll start again properly, but now you said that, I've just remembered something that I was going to say to you. One of the Facebook groups, and actually this bit could potentially be used for a Saturday episode. One of the many Facebook groups that I have joined for podcasting and to get help, advice for podcasting, and also to promote our podcast. There was a post today, which was somebody sharing their statistics.
Yeah.
And in 3.5 months of starting their podcast, brand new, they've just hit 8,000 downloads.
Okay, so how have they done it?
Yeah. Well, The thing that actually annoyed me about this wasn't the post. It was the comments. And it's the comments that irritated me. Of people there were people in there literally going, well, I've been going a year and I've only got 1,000 downloads. So it was just jealousy. The comment section was just jealousy, right?
Yeah.
And all you needed to do to find out why they have got that amount is to just simply click on their profile and see what the podcast is. Right? Now, the podcast, right, is two blokes like us, two random nobodies like us, but their day job, they're both jewelers.
Okay.
And every single episode is them talking about creating jewelry. And in the episode, they will talk about gemstones. So each episode, they'll talk about a different gemstone. And they also talk about customer service. So they are doing that one thing that podcasts, to be successful, you find your niche.
That is a niche.
And they have found a very specific niche where, how many podcasts are out there about jewelers and being a jeweler, creating jewelry, talking about gemstones and where they come from, how you source them, how you cut them, the different gradings of them, and also customer service of creating custom jewelry and running a jewelry shop and anecdotes about that. How many podcasts are actually going to be out there talking about those four things?
Yeah, I don't understand how you can get jealous. What are you going to do? What are they going to do? Just copy their podcast now? They're going to do their own version because they want to get 8,000 listeners.
Exactly.
They're giving people, there's an audience. They may not get more than 8,000. 8,000 may, that regular listeners. They probably have hit their target, the quota of them. They may not branch out into the mainstream, but it sounds like they're doing a great job.
But it's like seeing this Facebook post and seeing the fact that everyone in there was just jealous of the numbers. And then you click to look at what the podcasts are that are jealous. There's one that's an American football podcast. Now, I'm not a fan of American football. I've tried it. It's like a camp version of rugby. And rugby is already quite a gay sport anyway, big muscular men grabbing hold of each other, giving each other cuddles.
It's the finger up the. My dad said that was the way, on the scrum, you'd always get you get the offside moving by sticking your finger up the arsehole of the person next to you, and they would move. That's how you do it. It's and that's not including what happened afterwards in the showers and the baths, and the stuff. No, seriously, it's
very much a homoerotic sport, and American football is that, but they're padded up. But if I was going to go and listen to an American football podcast, I think I would go and find something that was probably officially linked to is it NFL? Yeah, I think it's NFL, isn't it? American football. And I would actually look for people that, this is how little of a fan I am. I'm going to say the David Beckham of American football. So a high profile American football player talking about the sport. That is what I would go to look at if I wanted to listen to a podcast about American football, purely because they would probably know about it. I'm not going to listen to a random dude who's advertising on Facebook who I can see his podcast setup is just his webcam, his normal inbuilt webcam and his inbuilt microphone, and hear his views as to what is. Like, I would not start a Norwich City podcast because, one, other than being a fan, I'm not really anything to do with the club. And what would I talk about? Just sit there and go, I love Norwich. It's a great football team.
Yeah, but that's what people do, though. I mean, people watch. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. If people tune in, somebody tunes in because they like Norwich City. and they see you, they like what you say, they'll come back. So they know that you like it. You educate, you're a normal person. You like how you present. That's how you get your audience. You saw that football clip that you were just talking about, football game, and you got that many people listen. There's people who are interested in it. If somehow you managed to relate football with the paranormal and football games with the paranormal, we would have got people to stay.
Yeah. But it's like, if you're doing, it's like us, like we can't be too sad about, because on the surface, we're a paranormal podcast. There are thousands of paranormal podcasts. It's only when you start looking into the details of us and actually listen to an episode, you realize that we
know nothing.
rather unique in the paranormal podcast world, where we tend to be humorous and have a bit of chat and, make jokes, be a little bit silly, whilst also giving the information. So we are something very different, but you're not going to know that just by looking at us on the surface.
Yeah. People who want serious paranormal will come in, listen for 5 minutes, and they'll go.
Yeah.
The people who will stay are the ones who want to listen to what we do, no matter what it is. And that's why I'm hoping they'll come back to the Saturday show, because it's not necessarily about the paranormal side of things.
Yeah.
If they like how we chat, do what we do, they'll come back and listen to whatever nonsense we do on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And they'll join us when we do live streaming. They'll join us when you do the live Twitch. All those things, they'll join us.
They do. And it's lovely on TikTok when I do a live and there are people that join in. There'll be some people that ask about the paranormal. There'll be people ask about the podcast. And then conversely, there'll be people come in and say something completely random. And we just go with it.
Yeah, you must let me know when you do one of those so I can join you.
Yeah, well, typically it tends to be when I know that you're busy anyway. So like Friday night when you do your movie nights, obviously I'm normally not doing much. I'm either out at the pub or I'm at home doing podcast jobs or I'm playing video games or watching movies myself. So, that is when I'm likely to do a live. Because if I know you're free, I'd much rather record for the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the magnificent, the marvelous, the mind-bogglingly mediocre Boo-Foons Game Show! Tonight we have one contestant, just one, because that's all we could convince to show up. Give a warm, supportive groan for the ever-suffering Steve! And steering this glitter-encrusted disaster with the confidence of a man who absolutely believes this is a legitimate game show, your host, the incomparable, the unstoppable, the chaos conductor himself, Dan!
I've decided to change. Not completely, but let's do something a bit different. So normally, when we do a little quiz, obviously I'm giving you the little synopsis with the wrong character, and I thought to do a little bit something different for a change.
You're going to give me with all the right characters?
No, this is going to be. I've got. How many? Sorry, I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 films here.
Okay.
And some of them are real. Some of them are not real.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
You have to decide. And I'm only going to give you the title of the film. And the year the film. Well, I can give you the year the film came out as well, because I can make a year up, I suppose, for the fake ones. But I got some films here, and the idea is you are going to tell me: is it a true film, or have I completely and utterly made this film name up?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to tell you the title of a film. And you're going to tell me, yes, it's a real film, or no, it's not. Yeah. So, first one. You're the hunter from the future.
That's true.
It is. 1983. Yeah. I just saw it. I saw the name of it the other day and went, that sounds made up.
Yep. No, it's real.
Yeah. No, you're right. That film is indeed real. Okay. Next film. Bowfinger.
That's Eddie Murphy, so that's true.
It is Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin. That is true. You're right. The next one. Bums to Hitler.
I haven't heard of that one before.
No, it's because it's made up.
Aha, okay.
It's made up. The inspiration to that is the scene in the Adam Sandler film Little Nicky where they put pineapples in Hitler's bum. That's where I was inspired by the name of that film.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that one was indeed made up. Next one. Jesus Can't Skate.
Sounds true to me. Sounds real.
It is real. 2006. So, yeah. Yeah, it's real. It is real. It explores. So it's a 2006 film. It explores the world of roller figure skating as elite athletes compete for gold at the 50th anniversary of the World Championships in Rome. I don't know why it's called Jesus Can't Skate, unless it's a documentary. It says a documentary, but it doesn't seem to have anybody in it called Jesus, or even how do sometimes Mexicans say it? It's like
Jesus.
That's it, Jesus. Yeah, but there's no one in it called Jesus.
Okay.
So that's why I'm confused as to why it was called that. But yeah, it's a film that exists. The guy this is about is a guy called Jason.
You might wonder if Jason can skate.
Yeah, Jason Sutcliffe.
Oh,
is his name.
Peter Sutcliffe.
Yeah, no relation apparently.
Okay.
Next one. Turbo Man, the motion picture.
Oh, Turbo Man. I think that's true, and I think I saw it recently.
I think it's true, and you saw it recently.
Is it true, Turbo Man?
It is not true. It is a film.
What's it, Turbo?
That is featured in Jingle All the Way.
Okay. I knew I heard it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
He was the one they were fighting after, wasn't it?
Yes, that's
the
right.
Kid, yeah. When he Schwarzenegger and Sinbad getting a fight over it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Turbo Kid. I think that's a Turbo Kid film. Tell me if there's a Turbo Kid film. Yes, it is. Yeah. Turbo Kid is very, very good. It's like a Mad Max kind of. It starts off like this, like a kid's adventure story. Then before you know it, people's heads are getting chopped off and there's cannibals eating people. It's awesome. It's hysterically funny.
Wow.
It's over the top. It's crazy. Really, really campy, low budget fun. Definitely recommend Turbo Kid. That's what I got confused with Turbo Kid. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. So, turns out you're still an expert of movies, even if I changed the format of the game. Hooray!
Not that much of an expert. I got Turbo Man wrong, but Turbo Kid is what I was thinking of.
But there we go. That's Boo-Foons game show today with our new theme tune and everything. Hooray!
I should do one. I should get one for you, shouldn't I, Simon? But it will be about beer. Can I do a beer-related quiz?
Yeah. You see, I've been thinking about this because you've said before, based on the format of the game show, of doing it as ingredients. I'm like, well, actually, that can never. There is no way that would work. However, I was thinking that it could be something like, I don't know, like the mainstream beers and something like describing what's on the label, or obviously a distinctive one, so like Guinness, it's got a golden harp on it or something like that. Or even just saying where, or doing something like where the brewery is, or maybe synonyms of names of breweries or beers or something like that.
Boo-Foons Game Show!
Yeah, well, as you know, Steve, I like going to the pub, And,
yeah, I've noticed.
One thing that I always like when I'm with a group of people that I sort of only semi know, and when the conversation sort of dries up a little bit, one of my favorite things, well, I love food and you love food. And one of my favorite things is to start talking about food. And I always like to throw out a question, which for some people, they end up finding it very controversial. And sometimes I have thrown this out there and people have sat and argued and almost got to the point where they are almost fist fighting over this exact question, right?
So you're telling me this is as bad as this is religion and politics level, yeah?
Yeah. And I bet there will be people in the comments of this who, or even will be on our Discord, sending us messages that will argue and disagree with what we're about to say for our answers to this question. And they are going to have their own opinions of what their answer is and what they think is correct.
Okay, so far away.
Right, here is the controversial question. What is the perfect fry-up? What would you have on the perfect fry-up?
Me, what I would have on the perfect fry-up?
You personally.
Okay, so I would have black pudding, white pudding, sausages, bacon, tomatoes, fried. I would have all grilled, baked beans, fried bread. I wouldn't have hash browns. And I think that's pretty about it. I think that's what I would have.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you see, for me, and then we can discuss in a moment. So for me, it would have to definitely bacon, sausage, black pudding. Hash browns I can give and take, but I would put one, maybe two hash browns on there. Baked beans, and if I had to have a tomato, it would have to be a fresh grilled tomato. And then fried egg. And
I forgot eggs,
yeah.
didn't I? I forgot eggs.
Yeah, and toast and a black coffee. Maybe even an orange juice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll stick an egg on. It could be fried or scrambled.
Okay.
So maybe poached if I feel posh.
Yes.
Which is very rarely. So it's either fried or scrambled.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad of one thing. Both of us have said no to mushrooms. Neither of us having a mushroom, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I think mushrooms are just fillers. I think people put them on a plate because they're cheap.
Yeah, I hate mushrooms. Full stop.
I love mushrooms. I love mushrooms, but there's time and a place for a mushroom, and it's not on a breakfast.
Yeah. You also said no hash brown. Why no hash brown?
Because I think it's just, again, another thing just to fill up. It just takes a lot of space up, even though they're quite small, and it's just there to stodge it. No, there should be as little vegetables. Baked beans and tomato is about as vegetable as I go on a breakfast. I want my protein then.
Fair play. And are you somebody that, because I know some people are quite precious about the baked bean juice touching everything else, so would rather have it in a little ramekin. Yeah.
No, just throw it on a plate. I usually, if I'm making my fried breakfast and like maybe I've overcooked the black pudding a bit, I make sure the sauce goes on top of that, just to moisten it a bit before I get to eat it.
Yeah.
Last thing I do want to do is, and I like to just scoop it up and eat it together. Oh yeah. Do you know what? We're going to cut this episode short. We're going to have to make some food in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to somebody. You said about fried bread. Now, I personally dislike fried bread, and
it's so bad for you, but it's so good.
See, I don't. I have a problem with food that is too greasy. That is why, like fish and chip shops, I will only go to a fish and chip shop if I know it's cooked in beef dripping or a proper fat like that, because I know that the chips are going to be crispy, the batter on the fish is going to be crispy. When it's cooked in oil, it's just so greasy and horrible.
The reason for that, it's like the fried bread. Yeah, fried bread shouldn't be greasy. You should have your fat so high it seals the bread, and the fat doesn't go into it, doesn't soak it up. It just makes it, again, slightly moist. With fish and chips, like, it's the reason is if you cook with dirty oil and the temperature is too low, then the chips and the fish will soak the fat and the oil into it. But if it's clean and it's hot, I mean, the proper temperature, it seals it so nothing goes inside.
Yeah.
But the mistake is having it too low, cooking it with dirty, makes it sound like I'm an expert here, but cooking fish and chips with dirty oil at a too low a temperature, it's just going to soak in and become stodgy and horrible.
Yes.
Yeah, totally agreed. But fried food, if it's done right, shouldn't have any fat or oil inside it. It should be sealed. It should become instantly crispy on the outside and protect what's inside and just cook it.
Yes, and I've had discussions around this game in pubs where people have been adamant that you cannot call it a fry-up if you don't have fried bread.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
otherwise, it's just a cooked breakfast.
Yeah, and it's been amazing how many people I've sat down, posed this to, and how many arguments it's caused. So, over to the listeners, you put your dream fry-up in there, and I'm sure there are going to be people criticise us for black pudding, because I know there are lots of people that hate black pudding.
But it's so good. It's got to be spiced just right, but it doesn't smell like blood. It doesn't taste like blood. It's seasoning the spices, and it's just. And also, what makes it so great? It just proves that we don't waste anything of that poor animal that sacrificed its life unwillingly for my breakfast. That I've managed to use almost everything up of it. We've got the sausages, which are all the other bits, and we've got the black pudding, which is the blood and all the other bits. So between the sausages and the black pudding, we've eaten everything of the pig.
And the thing that I love about the British Isles is you go up north to Scotland and they chuck a bit of haggis on the plate, and you get square sausage.
Square sausage.
I don't know what is so magical about square sausage, but there is something special about square sausage where it tastes better than a normal sausage.
I've never had a square sausage, unless you're talking slices of sausage meat.
Yeah, it's sliced of sausage meat, like what you get in a McDonald's McMuffin, but it's square instead of a circle.
Never had it. Never had it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I come to yours, we can have it. You have to order some, obviously, from Scotland.
Yes, or we can go to Scotland. I like Scotland.
I've never been to Scotland. It's just too far away. It's just a bit too foreign.
And then you also said white pudding. That's the thing that I like. When I went to Dublin, the hotel I stayed in had the most amazing breakfast buffet ever, because they had a tray of black pudding and a tray of white pudding. And I went up and my plate came back and it was just a mountain of black pudding, white pudding, and bacon. That was it.
That was well. I every couple of months we go. I go work in Nottingham, so I go take an office. We go up to the office up there, and we stay in the hotel. Or they put obviously you got your fried breakfast. Sorry, breakfast you can just help yourself to, and you should see the size of the plate I come back with every day. My plate is so full up of food. It's great. Breakfast, best meal of the day. The thing I tell you, the biggest argument for breakfast, the worst thing you can have for breakfast is cereal. Oh. Cereal is just lie. It is just nothing but death on a plate.
But what about golden nuggets? Because they taste yee-haw.
See, they shouldn't be cereal. They should just be a snack. Yeah. But they tasted so much better in the 70s.
They definitely did. My mum always has golden nuggets in at home. She loves them. And there is something weird. They don't taste very nice anymore.
No, they used to be so good. You could just sit and eat a packet, put them out one by one. But it's the same with everything. Everything's lost its flavor these days, which is why I think I'm so overweight, because I keep eating everything trying to get some flavor.
I think it's partly because they've tried to make things healthier, but also at the same time, they've tried to they've removed flavors and things and sugar. They try. So I'm going to start that sentence again. I think it's because they've tried to, one, make the manufacturing cheaper, so less ingredients and finding cheaper alternatives. So, for example, the whole Cadbury chocolate thing, which is why it tastes so awful these days, is because they don't use milk, they use palm oil, because palm oil is cheaper, and that's why it's not as creamy and doesn't taste as nice and that. And they've also now started to make it more along the American method that they use as well, so it has that. Yeah, whereas Cadbury chocolate used to be amazing. I used to love it. And I know sugar puffs. Can you still get sugar puffs? Like, they used to be really, really nice. And then I know there was a whole thing where they changed them to honey, and then and like ricicles. Do you remember ricicles?
Yeah, but see, this is the whole thing. Breakfast cereals are just sweets, but we were told as a lie for marketing, like diamonds, telling us that diamonds are precious and a girl's best friend and they're worth a lot of money. They're not. It's all just manufactured for the marketing. It's the same. People eating kale. Kale, there's no nutritional value in it at all. It's just easy to grow. That's why we're told how it's the miracle food, because it's just easy to grow. It's cheaper to grow. Breakfast cereal, it was just a marketing campaign because people stopped having cooked breakfast in the morning. They stopped having the time because they had to rush out for work. So let's sell, sweets basically as a breakfast and tell everybody how nutritious it is. It never was nutritious. It was awful. But everyone still believes it. That's why on the continent, pretty much every other place apart from England, US and UK, nobody has cereal for breakfast. They have meats and they have bread and they have cheese, but they don't have cereal. And they look a lot fitter and healthier than we do.
Yeah, and actually, going back to the whole fry up thing, when I go into Europe and travel to Europe, I'm always disappointed at breakfast time because I like a good fry up. And you go abroad and they go, here's a very sad looking croissant with a bit of cheese, a bit of ham, enjoy. And then there's mountains of fruit, and it's, I don't want fruit. What am I,
What am I? You want me to live longer, you horrible people?
Yeah. Give me unhealthy fried food, That's how I'm going to start my day right.
Yes, and that's how I'm going to start my day tomorrow.
When I used to do TikTok lives, the amount of messages that I would get from all of these different, some of them call it networks, some of them call them agencies.
Yep.
And they make me laugh so much because they're awful, and it essentially, we could set one up. We could be like the Boo-Foon agency. Because all you need to do is tell all the creators that if they do so many videos, they will earn more money than they would by themselves. Now, the way they make the money is that if I'm your agent as part of the agency and you're doing the live stream, I join your live stream, I give you a load of gifts. Therefore, you've made money because I've given you loads of gifts. But I make money because what you have to do every single month to be part of my agency is you've got to give me a monthly fee. So you have to give me, say, 20 quid a month, but I will guarantee that you will make more money than you would do by yourself. However, you've obviously got to get that £20 a month straight away, because you've got to pay me that. And I'm not going to give you all of that. I will spend some time giving you gifts and encouraging other people in the network to give you gifts. And that's how it sort of works. It works a bit like a Ponzi scheme, because if you get, say, 10 people, and you then say to those 10 people, oh, here's the schedule of when you've got to go live. And when you're not live, you have got to go and give X amount of gifts to the different creators. So you go on to go and start the thing. You give £5 worth of gift, or £1 worth of gifts to that person, £1 worth of gifts to that person, and then they're doing the same to you. So you're essentially gifting each other the same amount of money. However, the way TikTok works, you actually don't get that much back. So then you end up, they hope, so the agent or the person at the top of the agency hopes that you're stupid enough to realize that you're paying me £20 a month. Everyone else is paying me £20 a month, and actually, gift-wise, yes, it looks like you're making lots because the other people are all gifting each other, but you're probably only taking like a tenner a month back, and then that tenner is then coming to me anyway, and then with another one of your tenors that you're having to pay out of your pocket. So they hope that you're not realizing that you're not making any money, and actually you're giving me all the money.
Yeah, we
and if you miss a live when you're scheduled to go live, then it's then a case of you then get punished by everyone is then told not to gift in your thing for the next live or something. So then you don't make some money back.
It was very different when we used to do bubblegum when I was doing bubblegum with Biffo years ago. We joined a network which you spent half the time promoting other people's websites on banners. And I think we had one check for $5, even though we were one of the biggest websites at the time. We were having millions, they were making all the money. They were just giving you a percentage, and that percentage turned out to be so small. It just wasn't worth it. Luckily, we just stopped updating the website after that. But there was just nothing. They weren't providing anything.
Yeah.
It was just, you spent the whole time just promoting other websites. We got the New York Times best websites of 1998, whatever it was. They had the top 10 websites or top 20 websites, and we were in there as top entertainment website. That was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Because Biffo was just so good at writing that stuff. No one could do it. All these people would steal stuff from the website. You'd see it on TV. Big creators who are still very famous now would pinch stuff.
Yeah. But then that's also very common, isn't it? People stealing other, even today. I have seen YouTube channels. I've even seen a few podcasts in that, for a matter of fact, that have tried to take ideas and content from other people, almost word for word, and then are taking it as themselves. And I've seen it the other way around, where small people have had their stuff taken from the bigger people. And on that note, I think it's time to say goodbye. So do look for our social media pages, give us a like, give us a follow, do comment on things as well. And if you've liked today's episode, share it. Just click share, even if it's a social media post or even just this episode. Go and tell somebody about it. That would be a great thing, because that's what we need. We need more people to be listening, and then the more people we get listening, the more we get, the closer we get to those targets being able to monetize this, which then means we can start earning money, which then means we should be able to start getting bigger and better guests, and we might also be able to get better equipment and produce more quality content.
You have to replace the host for that.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. So no going on social media said to replace the hosts, because we need to keep the hosts. They're great.
I say keep your money. Don't give it to us.
Unless you happen to go to Patreon, then please do, because you get exclusive stuff on Patreon. Yeah. Speaking of Patreon, you do get access to our Discord server, which you can join for free anyway by going to our website, clicking the link there, join our Discord, have a little chat with us, let us know if you like this episode, and keep us company over there. We do respond, we do like to chat, we do like to give updates on there. And yeah, thank you for listening. And see you Wednesday for a mystery. See you next Saturday for a bit of foolishness and some buffoonery. Bye.
Bye.
Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators.
Off the Case.